everybody, welcome back to the Movie Couple channel. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And here is our non-spoiler review for John Wick 3 Parabellum. John Wick 3 Parabellum is directed by Chaz Stahelski and stars Keanu Reeves as John Wick. John Wick 3 Parabellum basically is a continuation of John Wick 2. So, my tip right off the bat is if you have not seen John Wick 1 or 2, don't just go into this movie. Like, actually take the time, watch 1 and 2, especially 2, because it really picks up from where 2 leaves off. So,
like, immediately after.
Yeah, so, like, watch it. If you want a memory refresher, watch it, and why not? It's fun, action, it's great. So, this movie, I think, really is on a whole nother level as far as stunts go.
Oh yeah, they did like a whole bunch of things I'd never seen done before. And it was a lot of the stunts, a lot of the fight scenes were insanely impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Keanu Reeves on a horse, Keanu Reeves on a motorcycle, Keanu Reeves taking a lot of beating. And I don't want to go into spoiler territory, but Halle Berry is also amazing. That maybe my favorite like sequence in the movie. Maybe not my favorite sequence, but it's very long, and it's like I wouldn't get tired of watching it over and over because I've seen this movie twice, and I've enjoyed it immensely both times.
All the John Wick movies are known for their incredible action sequences, and this one does not fall short for any moments that are just wow and amazing and are just completely breathtaking when it comes to the choreography and just the stuff that they were like, you know what? Let's try some new and crazy stuff out. And it's very impressive to see. And going into this movie, I was kind of expecting these really elaborate kind of action sequences, but what's really cool about it is that they do a lot of basic things that make fights in movies really good. They have a lot of good wide shots in them. They actually were able to make sure that you're able to get like the full picture of what's going on in the fight. And a lot of the times, these fights look brutally real.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really can appreciate the director choosing to shoot wide because it's harder when you shoot wide. There's a lot more you have to plan for. You can see everything, which is why a lot of people, when they shoot fight scenes, they do, like, they shake your hand, they do, like, tighter stuff, so there's less to cover, I guess. But like, Dustin and I both have sword fighting backgrounds, stunt backgrounds, so going into this movie and seeing all the stunts play out in a wide shot, which is how it should be seen, is fantastic, but that requires so much work for the people in front of the camera and behind the camera. We heard
even a lot more for people behind the camera, because if you're doing this wide shot, not only do you have to worry about all of the action and all of the stuntmen constantly in motion and constantly doing their thing, but you also have to be worried about, oh, look, there's the lighting over there, or here's some wires that you can't trip over. You have to, I mean, when you do close-up shots, you can kind of push all of that to the side real quickly. But when you're doing these wide, huge, full set pictures, full set shots, it is really hard to keep everything choreographed, and it is like trying to do a dance with like hundreds of different moving parts.
Yeah, it definitely takes, like I said before, a lot of planning, and I just so appreciate all the hard work that all the actors and the crew did to bring us this like spectacular set pieces, action pieces on screen. So it's pretty obvious that you and I both really enjoy the action sequences.
Yes.
I really love the first act. That was probably my favorite out of the entire movie. It started off so strong. John Wick, excommunicado, he has 1 hour, and what does he choose to do with that time? He's racing against the clock, and you see just a city full of, which, like, I kind of don't want to live where they live, like, almost everybody on the street.
It really does.
He turns, is an assassin, like, they know, oh, that's John Wick, and they're like, hey, 1 hour, man, or we're coming after you, and I was like, well, I don't want to live there.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty weird that everywhere John Wick went, there was assassins.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, how many assassins are actually in this world?
A lot.
A lot, to where, like, it looks like every other person is an assassin and every other person knows who John Wick is. But that is something that I do believe that kind of suffered in this movie, was kind of the storytelling of it was kind of convoluted, I personally think.
Okay. Sure.
I really wish that they would have kept it a little bit simpler. I mean, a lot of the decisions and a lot of the, I mean, all of these people are supposed to be bad guys, but yet they make some decisions that seem out of character with the quote-unquote bad guys. Like, they follow these rules, but they also have other rules that they follow that they don't want to follow these, but these rules supersede these rules. But in this case, they're not going to follow those. And I'm like,
there's a lot of above the table and under the table kind of stuff, which is something I really wish they explored a little bit more. And so I agree with you to a point about that. I think you and I took some of these decisions in very different directions where I kind of embraced it and I just kind of went with it.
Yeah. And
because if this is the type of movie that kind of you just like, just have fun.
You really have to just kind of let go of that and kind of just forget that this isn't a world that is based in our kind of reality. It's really kind of like a world of assassins. This is not New York City, even though they say it's in New York City. Mm-hmm. This one is a little bit more fantastical.
Like in a parallel universe.
Yeah. You know what? That's actually a really good way of saying it. What if John Wick had kind of lived in this parallel universe where 50% of the population are assassins?
Yes.
And that's where, for me at least, this movie really started to kind of fall apart. After one specific, the action sequence with Halle Berry, I personally think everything just started to be, even the action scenes started to get a little convoluted, and they started to get a little bit, they started to go for some cheesy corniness in some of the fights, and I really did not like it. And one of the things that they did in John Wick 2 a lot is that, for example, there is this huge area of a whole bunch of civilians, and in the middle of it, they kill a whole bunch of people. No one notices. Everyone just keeps on walking by. And they did that a couple times in this one. And that kind of action and that kind of mentality towards the reality of what human nature is. I mean, you see even the slightest drop of blood, people are going to be like, oh my God, and run away screaming. Or have some kind of reaction. And then, like, bodies just magically disappeared.
I would like to argue that this is what assassins do, is they're not only great at killing and going unnoticed, they're also great at hiding and disposing of body or something in that sense. Like, I love it when for example, like, we'll take ninjas for example, like when they kill, they're silent and they don't let whoever it is, their victim, if you will, their bodies fall to the ground because it makes a loud thump sound. They will kind of like take the body and slowly place it down. Like, little things like that I really, really appreciate, and I think in this Assassin's world, in my mind, that's how I kind of made it work. But for John Wick 3, I really was there more so for the action than I was for the story.
Yeah, and if you're able to separate yourself from that, you're going to enjoy it. I personally couldn't, and it just constantly ate at me from that point on. From all these, I mean, the first couple of action sequences, amazing. Freaking blew my mind. So good. Second couple of action scenes, good. They were doing things I'd never seen before. Didn't quite like them as the first couple of action scenes. Then the third, and then when it starts keep on going, more characters started making really weird decisions. Then they added some cheeseball kind of stuff in there with one character. And after that, I was kind of like, okay, I don't really care anymore about the storyline. Even some of the action scenes that were going on, I'm kind of like, I just didn't buy it. Because I could not accept the explanation that they were giving for that world and that reality. Now, if you can, you'll probably enjoy it a lot more. Like this young lady right over here. So it all really depends on your taste and your preference.
Yeah, I would say the first act, to your point, as far as like where he was talking about the humor being placed in there, it is very different from how the movie starts and what it goes through, even through the second act, where the humor, you're kind of like, where is this coming from? So it's a little bit abrupt and I think that's kind of what maybe triggered how you feel in that third act. I also want to talk about, we have interaction with the Continental and the manager, and the concierge, because John Wick did kill on Continental ground, which is not allowed. No business should be conducted there. So they bring in a new character, and she is an adjudicator.
Oh, yeah.
I'm lukewarm on her. I like her overall, like, aesthetic. I thought she looked really cool, but I don't love... I can't even really put my finger on it, but I was just kind of like, no, okay.
I did not like her at all. I found her obnoxious, what is that called? She was arrogant, but didn't have, like...
Well, I get why she's arrogant, because she came from her position, like, she makes the calls, and,
But there was, like, no reason for the audience to kind of accept how arrogant she was and how powerful she was. But, okay, she comes from the higher-ups, kind of a thing. But once again, these assassins are supposed to be super bad guys. Mm-hmm. And when it comes right down to it, why would they really listen? But once again, that's because I couldn't buy into it. If you can buy into it, then you're going to enjoy this movie a lot more than I did. So, what do you think?
Well, before I give you my rating, I just want to let you guys know that we are going to be going into a spoiler review, which we're probably going to film right after this one. So if you want to hear our thoughts, we're going to probably take a pretty deep dive into what we liked and what we didn't like, something we really couldn't go into specifics about in this review. Go ahead and head over to our Patreon. This is for the $3 tier. So you guys, if you are a patron, you will be getting those that review very, very soon. For my rating... Look, it's John Wick 3. It's freaking awesome. We got to see it. The second time we saw it was at IMAX.
The second time you saw it?
The second time that he saw it, or the first time he saw it, the second time I saw it, was at IMAX headquarters. It was at the Collider screening. And we had great seats. He picked the seats. They were great. The sound was fantastic. My God, it was so much fun watching it on such a huge IMAX screen. The seats it was great.
That's the way to see that kind of movie.
I am gonna give this movie catch it opening night. It's John Wick. Oh. It's action. It's brutal. If you've loved John Wick since the first one, just go and watch the third installment and just have fun. Get some popcorn, get some soda, enjoy.
Well, I'm a little torn because I don't want to quite give this a check it out, but I believe that it should be seen on a big screen, so it's not really a stream it or a rent it. It's more of like if you can get discount tickets or you can get like a matinee ticket.
Catch it at a matinee. Somebody has suggested that rating in the past, so maybe we'll add that now to
catch it at a matinee kind of a thing, because honestly, for me, I just couldn't buy into the second part of this world. Just some of the things that they did just seemed out of place, just didn't mess with me personally. However, I think if you're able to buy into it, like this young lady over here, you will enjoy the hell out of it. The first couple of action scenes are phenomenal. They do some things that I've never seen anyone try to do before. And also, we got to hear the director talk a little bit.
Yeah, the Q&A.
He geeked out. He was like a nerd when it comes to the guns and the fighting and the choreography.
So great. He's got a stunt background.
It made me really kind of enjoy and have a new appreciation for the things that bugged me at the beginning, at first. But still, I still had a problem with it. So I would say matinee it or rent it.
You can't do either
or. Okay,
or.
fine. Rent it. Matinee it. Okay. That's going to be a new rating. Matinee it.
Okay. Well, you guys, that's it for this non-spoiler review of John Wick 3 Parabellum. Let us know in the comment section below what you think of the movie and rate your favorite John Wick movie. The three of them that exist, like, in your preferred order. Like, which one's your favorite to your least favorite?
I'm going to say 1, 3, and then 2.
Same. 1, 3, and 2. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you want to see what we're up to day, you can follow us on social media at Wendy Lee Zaney, at the movie couple _, and we will see you next time. Bye.